Hi, Steve. Thanks
Hi.
very much for letting us be here today.
Thanks. No problem at all.
Yeah, I guess so. We're here with Steve. He has a sustainable clothing shop, and I guess we want to just talk about sustainable clothing, your motivations for starting a shop like this, and basically all the great points about sustainable clothing.
Yeah, cool.
And you recently opened the shop, relatively recently.
Yeah.
You've had a kind of a rocky ride
Yeah.
up until now, just opened before COVID.
Well, during COVID.
During
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
So round of applause for getting through
Thanks very
those
much.
crazy times, and long may your shop last,
Very much.
which I'm sure it will.
Hopefully, yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for having me. So the shop is called Aplomb. We're a sustainable clothing store. We have a few lifestyle bits, as you can see behind us here, but it's predominantly clothes. We initially started as a menswear with a few unisex bits, but now we've branched out into women's wear, and then we have a few more ideas for hopefully later this year, but we'll see how that goes. So sustainable clothing is basically, to use a quote or a line I used before, is the antithesis of fast fashion. So from everything from how the product is made to who makes it to how it's delivered to me, basically. So fair trade factories, organic cotton, recycled materials, like brand new materials that no one would ever think of using, vegan shoes, you name it. Like, they're doing all the real hard work. Recycled materials, recycled coffee cups, like the books behind us from a company in Cork called Badly Made Books. Recycled rubber. We've got recycled wool for some of our sweaters. Yeah, you name it. So basically anything that's not fast fashion is what we're interested in. Yeah,
Deadly. And because it's not fast fashion, it's long lasting as well.
for sure. Yeah,
Right,
so it's
so-
just made so well to begin with. For example, our jeans use about 3% of the water that your big name brands do to make a pair of jeans, which we won't go into the names, but thousands and thousands of litres used to produce one pair of jeans, whereas these guys cut down that amount by like 97%, which is crazy when you think about it. So as a result, the fabric you get, or the product you get, is just so soft, so much longer lasting, and just better all around, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm amazed. I saw one of those documentaries showing how much water was
crazy.
used.
Yeah,
In one pair of jeans, you're just like looking at
Drowning
all
them.
these
Yeah.
big boxes full of water.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So brilliant that they have them, that they're managing to reduce that water. And I guess just talking about the money side of things, there's great bang for your buck. It lasts a very long time, doesn't it?
Definitely. You know, we've customers coming back to get, you know, another color in a particular product they have because the other one is just so long lasting. I've some of the stuff 3.5 years since we opened, still in the exact same nick that you get it.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, the fast fashion stuff, even some of the high end stuff, it's just not made. It's not up to scratch really.
Even
anymore.
the stitching, right?
Just
the stitching is designed to fall apart very quickly.
Yeah.
And the colour fades quickly.
Borderline like disposable clothing, which it shouldn't be a thing.
And I mean, like, it just ages nicely probably with time as well, a lot of them. So like there's a lot to be said for it, and I guess that justifies the price as well, with kind of the cooler premium that you pay for, like, whatever cool brands. If you buy something like the neutral, can I just grab one out here?
I'm actually wearing that one beside it, so yeah.
Oh yeah. Good choice.
Yeah.
Like, that's basic in the sense that you won't see any brands on it or anything like that.
Unisex, you know.
And you're not paying for the brand necessarily. You're probably paying the same price as a cool brand, but you're paying it for the quality, the long-lasting side of things.
Just
basically.
how well it's made and how responsibly it's sourced. You know, they use natural dyes. It's a fair trade factory. You see, you have the certs and stuff on it here.
Yeah. What's the cert to look out for?
So the big ones I would look out for would be, as you can see there, the fair trade one, and then the GOTS, which is, you can't see it there. Never mind that. Oh, you can. Yeah, sorry. So this thing. So GOTS is the Global Organic Textile Standard, which means it's basically just up to scratch. Like, you know, it's in there doing everything to make sure that all the cotton is dye free, like harmful chemical free. They use natural dyes, fair trade factories, everything like that. You know, even though they're made in India, the workers are all paid a fair wage and just looked after much nicer than your sweatshops.
That's the point as well, that you don't want to be taking business away from the developing world. You just want to be making it more sustainable and ethical, so that whatever, we don't use all their water, we don't pollute it, and we treat the people fairly that are making these things, and avoiding children in the sweatshops. So being
corrupted and whatever else they do. So basically everything you said there. So
no, that's brilliant. And like I just remember a time where my father would tell me, or my uncle, about these clothes lasting a long time, like the Barber jacket.
Yeah, we were talking about that before.
My uncle has a jacket that he still wears on the farm for the last 20 years. My father had the same jacket for 30 years and just ruined it only because it rained and he tried to dry it in the dryer for 5 minutes, thinking that, hey, a wax jacket will be alright if I do 5 minutes, and it destroyed it. But those things were built to last, and nowadays we've been conditioned to get used to things
lasting just 4 years or lasting less. You know, it's like less. Electronics. You know, you see people having fridges for generations, and now you might get 4 or 5 years out, and you just exactly
disaster.
You said there, that we're
it's called planned obsolescence, right? So pretty much from technology been planned to slow down. Even like the piping in construction, all of these things are built to not last that long, so that you go back and buy more, and we've been conditioned to just take it for granted that that's the way it is,
part of it,
which is kind of annoying. But the world is waking up to it more,
definitely,
and there's I guess the more we buy clothes like the ones that are in Steve's shop, the more it sends market signals to the global economy that this is what customers want. They're voting with their wallet, essentially, and that does kind of push things in the positive direction.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then of course the more it happens, the more established these sustainable brands get. You recognize them more, and more people buy them. So it is brilliant. This is I bought this jacket on purpose to just show you. This is my oldest standing piece of clothing I have. And
on the first day you were in, I remember.
I call it my drinking jacket because I bring it everywhere. I don't mind if it gets spilt on. But it's 9 years is as long as that, as old as it is, and not a stitch out of place, so it can be done. And it's kind of shocking that that's literally the only thing that I have that's old. That's that old, so hopefully we'll move towards, I don't know, where most of us will have these long-lasting clothes again. And
just as you said, that that people will be starting hopefully to kind of vote with their wallets, that realizing that just because something is responsibly made, it can last. It's well made to begin with, so it should have a much better shelf life than your kind of off the rack big name fast fashion kind of ones. Even the huge companies are made terribly, really, to be honest. Some of them, the stitching and stuff like that.
And honestly, I don't want to slate particular brands, but even like the hiking gear, the construction gear, like Carhartt, that's construction gear. That's how it started off, because they know that stuff will last. And these companies are now also branching off into the fast fashion side. You'll see that they have an international written beside them. So you'll have what the hikers wear is the long lasting stuff. Then you go into the high street shops that have the same brand, but it's the stuff that the little kids are running around with. 10 of them with the black jackets and the same logo on it.
We know what brand we're talking about there.
I wonder which one it is, Steve. So the mountaineering one is the one that will last long.
It's called Gorpcore.
Gorpcore. Yeah, you said that the first time I came in.
So Gorp is
shop.
Good old raisins and peanuts. So it's supposed to be the stuff that was made to be going up mountains and hiking and stuff. Is now worn on the streets by young lads and whoever. But it's obviously it's just made just differently, basically. Like the hiking stuff is legit and stronger materials, better stitched, and more care put into it, but more expensive. And then the streetwear stuff then is just same brand but made terribly, made much more mass produced and stuff like that. So,
and literally we're backed into the corner of going for these mountaineering things because we're not aware that there are places like Steve's shop.
Well, also we live in Galway where you need mountain wear.
Well, it rains like 95% of the time here. And do you know, just thinking of it, I bought a new pair of shoes. I'm not going to mention the brand, but I do like White Runners, and every bloody fucking one of them gets destroyed within 6 months. And like they're I know, I came in, no, I actually I wiped it. I came in and there was a big stain on the front of it, but I was like, I got a tip that I finally found this
brand,
a pair of runners that are supposed to last for a while, and Steve told me that this shop also has White Runners. They're supposed to last long. They're unisex, nice and plain, and I can't wait to buy one once these
wear out.
Hopefully not too long, but no, they're great. So Steve, how did you get into this in the first place?
Good question. So I've always kind of been interested in fashion, I suppose, and finishing up an old job I used to do in a kind of medical practice, and was trying to find a way to kind of monetize my love of fashion, I suppose. So I moved to Dublin and started a personal styling course, which I loved, and it was great for getting a few contacts, and moving up to Dublin was fun at the time, things like that. So so then I did that for maybe 5 years between Dublin and here, getting lads ready for weddings and kitting them out for the year, or if there was lads that hated shopping, that's where I would come in. And I got a great kick out of it, but I got more and more fed up with having to buy kind of poor quality stuff, but also they were quite expensive as well, which that really confused and annoyed me, I suppose. So I think I always had the idea of doing my own kind of shop and working for myself. I've always had an interest in that, or a disinterest in working for the man or being told what to do. That's probably more accurate.
That sentiment.
So that's where I remember having a few clients in the space of the same month, and I had to buy or rebuy the same shirts that were pretty expensive, and the stitching went in them, or they came out of the wash a different shape than they went in, or just like weren't wearing very well.
So you advised these guys or helped them buy nice clothes, and then within a half year they were come back to you
for sure,
saying where can I get another shirt?
Basically they liked the shirt, they liked the idea of the shirt or the style of it, but it just wasn't well made, even though again it was quite expensive. Again, we won't go into the brands. So then that's where the kind of light bulb moment, I suppose, came, that I started researching sustainability stuff, and I saw more and more that there was an option that I could kind of kit out a shop or have my own kind of niche in the market, and that's where moving back to Galway and getting this going kind of came up. So kind of mixed the
foresight to be one of the pioneers.
And we're the only one in the west of Ireland really now. There's one in Dublin
that's unreal.
There's one in Dublin that specialises in it, and then we're the only one here then for the rest of the I think that with this range anyways, definitely I don't really sued or anything there. There might be liable, that I've seen anyways.
Squash the business. The competitors.
So we've men and women's now. We started off with just menswear with a few unisex bits, expanded into women's wear last July, I think, or like over the course of last summer, and we're getting close to being 50-50, which is the kind of the aim.
Brilliant. But you were saying that you kind of specialised in men's stuff beforehand, so you needed to kind of get established in that first.
For sure,
and then once you had that kind of set up, then you could expand on the female side. So it just
wasn't as big a risk then, I suppose. Like the initial risk I took was setting it up, and obviously, as we said earlier, during COVID, and then we just had so many requests from the customers that we had, and they were very loyal and loved what we had, but it was only for menswear, again with kind of the unisex kind of section as well.
I started giggling, by the way, because my mother came in here and she was disappointed that there were no female clothes.
So the Karens of this world put it into
did you call my mother a Karen?
Got onto
environmental Karens.
That's it. And again it wasn't as big a risk because we the brands we have are kind of are getting established now. The customers we have know the quality and know how well made they are, and pretty affordable, so that the branching out into women's wear wasn't as big a risk as setting up in the first place. We've used the same brands by and large to with all the women's wear. So yeah, it's been lovely and getting really
tried and trusted.
And they just know, we've got the spring stuff, summer stuff coming in now, so that women know that they can get the women of Galway or Ireland of the world know the quality and know that they're getting bang for their bucks.
And just looking at it, like the male stuff is also quite. It's not very flamboyant or whatever. Yeah. It's all
quite pared back.
I'm very basic and not flamboyant in any way.
That's where that's where my kind of background, I suppose, in styling comes in. That and the personal shopping, that you can find something quite simple like a well-made sweatshirt.
Yeah, well cut.
Give them a good variety of colours, and it's the same with the dresses and the tops and stuff for women. That if they find the right top, get in a few different colours or a variety over the course of however long they want to shop here, and again they expand their wardrobe in just a few kind of it's called a capsule wardrobe.
Right.
A few items can kind of totally switch up your wardrobe and make it much more eco-friendly and just environmentally friendly, sustainable, etc.
And I mean, this is a process. Like you don't have to do anything, but the idea of like converting to a more sustainable wardrobe can take a bit of time, and you slowly but surely buy kind of longer lasting things that are classics, that aren't really always with the trend, that go out of trend next year, and then you have kind of like
your wardrobe for life, pretty much.
A wardrobe for life that looks good, that you're kind of saving money on because you're guaranteed a lot of wears out of them, and not that much disappointment either. I've been buying the same jeans like in 3 different colors for the longest time. Like that's as simple as I am, but
so that's where the quality comes in. If you know the brand, you can trust it, so it's not as big a risk to get another color or another cut in by that same brand. So that's what we're trying to kind of establish slowly but surely. Like with the dresses, we've had loads of customers buy the next one that comes in, or the next and the spring summer stuff. Brilliant. I think will be the same, because they know they're familiar with the brand and they can trust it.
The relationship with clothes does change if you have these kind of long lasting ones. I remember the amount of things that just fell apart on me. You don't get an attachment to those clothes. Like, do you remember when you were a child, you'd have like I remember that t-shirt, I wore that all the time. That happens more with long lasting stuff, obviously.
Well, just because you see it, as you said earlier on with your uncle, he's got that jacket for 30 years.
The wax jacket.
The wax jacket. It's well made to begin with. However, you get your hundreds and hundreds of wears out of it, and that's the idea of the whole sustainable fashion kind of movement, I suppose.
From a cost benefit analysis, or whatever you'd call it, the cost versus wear, you don't really have to sell this. Like it's kind of it is what it is. Like you don't have to, unless you're very new to this. You don't have to ram it down their throat. No.
So the dream, the idea for a good fabric or good item of clothing would be to get 30 wears out of it. Yeah. And that's the kind of your everyday stuff, at least. Yeah, for sure. If you think about it, a plain sweatshirt or a well-made dress or cool jeans or anything like that, you can wear them. Pretty much indefinitely. It's all going well. So I don't know what number of wears you'd be into by the time you stop wearing them, and they can be just there, and worst comes to worst, pass them on to someone else or into a vintage store or charity shop. Someone else gets their 30 wears or 30 plus wears, and then the whole circle starts up again. So
well, the more this happens, the better the world will be off for it, and us too, with how we look.
That was good.
Steve, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
I think we'll cut it off there.
Perfect.
Appreciate the time with you, and drop into him. He'll give you great advice, especially men, because you're everyone,
whoever wants to come in, I'll look after them all.
Men who are looking to look a bit better, and
women who already look good.
Women who already look good, and everyone in between. All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, pleasure. See you guys. Thank you.